Hi everyone, and welcome to Tarot for You 444. It's certainly lovely to have you back again. Today I want to look into the secrets of Divine Masculine. So what isn't he telling you right now? What is he going through? And, as it relates to the twin flame journey. I also want to stipulate that the energies of Divine Masculine can be gender neutral. So please know that if you're a Divine Feminine in Divine Masculine energy, or vice versa, Masculine in with Divine Feminine energy, that of course occurs, and we all have Divine Masculine and Divine energy, Divine Feminine energies within us. So I'm using my Sneaky Peek deck, which always tells me the truth. So that's going to be really helpful today. So let's have a look at Divine Masculine. What is he not telling Divine Feminine at this time? Because for a lot of Divine Feminines, I've noticed that Masculine hasn't come in as much. And I kind of get this big feeling that he's working on something. And there's a synchronicity right there. Okay, so I'm just being guided to shuffle for a little bit longer so we can get the really good message coming through here. I think it's important that we get the correct message, so I'll just keep shuffling and we'll keep going. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups denotes that it can be third-party situations, so people or places or things in the way of the connection. However, this also can denote the use of skills in order to make money and high achievement, as well as a celebration of some kind. So I'm feeling celebration quite strongly here. There's something he is feeling like he wants to celebrate. So that's the Three of Cups energy now. So I'm just going to look at the cards for a moment while I shuffle the clarifiers, so that, because when we get the clarifiers for each one, sometimes we can get double, like a double cards coming up in that spot, which would really signify that the message, is really important. So I'll just place these clarifiers down, and that's going to help me get the story out. Okay, so I just mentioned before that the use of your skills in order to make money, or perhaps even learning a skill to make more money. So we can see here that Divine Masculine is working really hard at something. So that's good. So that's part of the message that we want to get. Okay, so the first message I want to tell you is that the heartbreak card is in reverse. So we've got this feeling of the heartbreak is in the past now, and the healing is still occurring or will be still occurring in the near future. And that's something that he's not telling you, Divine Feminine. So he's not saying that he is hurting or has had hurt in the past. And if he has mentioned this to you, he's not told you the extent of how much heartbreak he's had. So when we move on, we get this idea of feeling off balance. So even though he knows who his divine counterpart is, the Empress is here now coming up in reverse. So this is saying that he's not sure if he can hold on to her. He's not sure if he is good enough, or he can heal enough, or you know, give enough to the connection for her to stay around. And so the next idea is that we have the Eight of Wands with the Chariot, and so together these two cards from different decks they are. This denotes communication coming forward, and you know, this willingness to travel to Divine Feminine. So he's perhaps not saying that he's on his way. He's perhaps not letting her know that he's coming. You know, I'm feeling as though he's divinely guided to not tell Divine Feminine everything, you know, to not get her hopes up. Maybe, you know, maybe something could go wrong. Maybe he's not sure himself if he's got enough courage to bring this forward. And so then we've got this Eight of Pentacles again coming up with the Queen of Wands. So the work that he's doing is a passionate work, a spiritual work. It can also be his employment, so that he can, you know, make sure that he has the resources, the money, the things that he needs to come through with within this scenario. Because then we have the Knight of Swords, which is a hasty personality coming in, someone who wants to communicate fully, and that's with the Four of Cups in reverse. So this idea of having any depression or anything what am I trying to say here? So I'm trying to get the message across that he's not feeling depressed, he's not feeling anxious, he's not bored with the situation. In fact, he wants to come in and say all of these things, but he can't, because if he does, he feels as though it's going to affect what he's building. If he tells you everything that he's doing, he feels that it might, you know, put a jinx on what he's doing. He feels as though if he tells you that, I mean, perhaps you might tell someone else, and if you tell someone else, then someone else will know, and you know, when karmics are involved and things like that, then it can involve too many people, and that's when interference can occur. So he's actually using his intuition to realize that what he is building here is sacred. Okay, so this idea of sacred, and straight underneath that card is the Judgment card. So this is a call from, you know, the divine for what he's doing. He's being called to do these things and not necessarily tell you. So that's really beautiful. And so we have him perhaps not telling you that he's definitely holding on to this love, because we have the Ace of Cups with the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is, you know, this holding on for dear life kind of feeling. right? He's not letting go. He's not letting go. It can, Ace of Cups can also be marriage. It can also be the birth of a child, and also, you know, the beginning of a new love affair, or the continuation of one that's already been. So what else isn't he saying? We have the Seven of Cups with the Death card in reverse now, and those two cards together are this feeling of a transformation that's occurred in the recent past but has been confusing to him. So there's been this inner conflict, this inner turmoil, this confusion that, why am I feeling this way? I know what I want to do. I know where I want to get to. You know, I'm drawn to this card. I know what I want to do and work towards. I know that I need to travel and communicate to my divine feminine, but I just can't right now because I've got my eye on the prize right now. I'm looking out and manifesting this future, this very important future that's sacred, this important future that I shouldn't be telling just anyone about. This beautiful love that goes beyond anything I've ever experienced before. This idea that in the past I've gone within and I've healed a lot of, you know, whatever's gone on with karmics and other things, but I'm still missing the Two of Cups. 2 cups, and next to that is the Two of Cups. So, you know, he's got, perhaps, you know, it's not going to be the same for all divine masculines, but, you know, he's got the car and the clothes and the shoes and the job and the family and the, you know, a lot of the things that he needs in his life, you know, the resources and the people, but he doesn't have this. And that's the only 2 cups left to get. You know, he's had perhaps relationships that have gone wrong. He's been with karmics that have done him wrong. He's experienced tragedy before. You know, we opened up with the Heartbreak card. He's trying to tell you, divine feminine, that he's had heartbreak in the past. And I think it's important for divine feminine to understand that, you know, just because the masculines don't necessarily talk about this doesn't mean they're not going through it. You know, men or the masculine energy, which can be, you know, in a female or a man, doesn't always say what's going on. So now let's just have a quick look at what he wants to say, and then we'll leave it at that for today. I'm getting solar plexus energy and also sacral chakra energy really strongly today. So all of the other chakras are being kind of muted compared to the sacral and solar plexus. So perhaps he needs to work on that, or divine feminine, perhaps you need to work on those chakras. Remember that solar plexus is the power center in many cultures. You know, so have a look at that. You know, if you need to Google it, or you know, do an isochronic. You can look up isochronic, ISOCHRONIC. I think it's Voff Ugla, VOFF. Does a brilliant 15-minute isochronic for each of the chakras. So right from the root to the crown, they're 15 minutes each, and they're really good. So now we're taking a look, okay, at what he wants to tell you that he's not telling you. Okay, I'm just going to use 2 decks randomly because I just feel like we want to mix this up a bit in case messages want to come from both decks and, you know, intertwine and give us a double message if we get the same cards or something. So let's just do that. Here we go. Wow. Okay, so what he's not telling you is that the Page of Pentacles, right? So he's having a good time regarding money, and he's also having this time where he's feeling fortunate. There's good news about money coming his way, and he feels as though the universe is offering him something, but he's really, you know, having to fight a little bit to speak his truth to some people in his life right now. And the thing is, you know, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be this controlling person that has to put their foot down. But with some of these people, he's had to. And this is relating to his family and people he loves. He's had to just put his foot down a little bit. So that's what he wants you to know. So then we go to, very interestingly, we've got from a different deck, we've got the Three of Swords again with the Lovers in reverse. So the Three of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. So this is a past energy now. So this is that heartbreak that he had in a love situation. So a love situation doesn't necessarily mean a dating relationship. It could be, there's the synchronicity there, is the engine starting up. So it could be regarding a family situation, a karmic situation. A karmic situation is, you know, it can be a relationship with a friend or a brother or a sister or a cousin or a lover. You know, it can be anything. So he's had heartbreak in the past and he's afraid to get his heart broken. So then we get the Star again, which denotes that he feels Divine Feminine is his wish fulfillment, the healer, the message from Spirit that he's been waiting for. Because in the past he was placing his thoughts into the wrong area. He was mixing with the wrong people, places and things for some Divine Masculines. So he's trying to say now that he wants to offer you an equal share in his life. He wants it to be fair. He wants it to be grounded. He wants it to be balanced. We have the Ten of Pentacles. This is wanting everything with someone. This is the happy home, the money, the family, the you know, good news about money, wealth and success. This is all of those things. And so he's trying to say that there was an injustice that occurred with him that he didn't know how to cope with it. He didn't know. He was confused about this. It made him feel as though he was trapped. This is the Eight of Swords in the traditional deck. It's the you know, the woman with a blindfold on, trapped by their own thoughts. Right, so he's revisiting this trauma, this occurrence that happened in the past. And when he does this, it makes him feel powerless. He feels trapped within, and sometimes this can bring about behaviors that he's not necessarily proud of. Sometimes it can mean that Divine Masculine will say or do things that he's not really sure of or meaning. And really importantly, he's trying to tell you this through these cards today. So this is a message for you. And now I just want to ask Divine Masculine Collective, what does he want the Divine Feminine to do to help him right now? So I think this is important because sometimes we don't delve into what you can do to help the connection in the twin flame journey. So let's just get 4 cards with 4 clarifiers and see what you can do to help your Divine Masculine right now with what he's going through. Okay, wow. So these cards are rich, like just flipping out because he's flipping out. You know, his past has been hard. For some of them it's like PTSD. For some of them it really affected them. For some of them it's been a death in the family even. So what can you do? We have the Emperor in reverse with the 4 of Pentacles. So don't hold on to this controlling nature. If you've been using your words to control your masculine without that, I don't mean it to come across like that. If you've been in the masculine energy and you're the Divine Feminine, stop that. Don't try and control your Divine Masculine. He's the Divine Masculine for a reason. He's been probably acting like the distorted masculine if he's afraid or if he's suffered through trauma. So Spirit are saying to you now, come into your feminine energy, be nurturing, be like childlike. Okay, the 6 of Cups here is the soul, you know, the twin souls and or a soulmate card, but it's telling you to nurture him like a child. Love as children do. We have the 8 of Cups again. This is you also knowing what you've done on your journey, Divine Feminine, how much you've gone within and how much you've purged and searched and given to the journey, and you're missing these 2 cups. What are you missing? The 2 of Cups. So to help, let me clarify again what I've said. So come into your feminine energy and love like children do. Unconditional love is so important right now, because if you act in any way, shape or form that seems deceptive, because we have the 7 of Cups in reverse here. So this is, you know, the confusion card. If you confuse the masculine with energy that is not congruent with Divine Feminine energy, that's not congruent with the unconditional love that we're speaking of, that comes across as overbearing or controlling, what you're going to do is cause this in the Divine Masculine. Right? Because it's like reliving the trauma all over again. He's already had his heart broken from a person, place or thing in his life. He's already gone, and he knows what he doesn't want. He knows that he doesn't want this emotional yuck, right? He'd rather be single. He'd rather be single and, you know, have passion for his own things if you come across as in a masculine way that's overbearing, in a way that's not loving, and in a way that feels deceptive in any way. So if he asks you a question and you and ah about it and you're not sure, then that's going to feel like you're not telling him something, and that's going to trigger this old pattern where he was hurt before. Because that's what twin flames do, they trigger one another. Okay? So let's just go over that one last time just to be absolutely clear. Stay in your Divine Feminine energy. Love unconditionally like children do do not come across as being deceptive or playing games in any way, shape or form, because this will cause a dark night of the soul or a triggering in your masculine, which is not necessary. He has been through it already, Divine Feminine. What he's craving now is, as my last video showed, is intimacy and love. Okay, so I don't think I need to do any more messages. Maybe just actually one more. What is his higher self? What does his higher self say? What the Divine Masculine says in the third dimensional world and what he says in, you know, from his higher self can be completely different. So let's just see what his higher self is saying for Divine Feminine to do. Okay, so he's saying, I'm passionate for you, completely passionate for you. I want to message you. I want to celebrate our love. I always see this card, if it's not regarding third parties, I see it as a celebration card. And the third energy there, you know, there's three women there, so it's the, you know, the Divine Masculine and Feminine, and then the third that brings in the third energy, which is to be celebrated. His higher self is saying to be in this energy, this King of Cups energy. His own soul is always in this energy. His higher self is always in this energy. And that this feeling needs to end. This pain and suffering needs to end. And how do we end it, Divine Feminine? By staying in our feminine energy, which creates the duality, by loving as children do, and by also remaining unconditionally loving for Divine Masculine at this time, who has been through some heartbreak, which has resurfaced lately. Even if he's not telling you this, this is what he's going through. So I really hope that message resonates with you. If you haven't liked, subscribe, sorry, it's a bit early here, I'm still waking up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you want to like, share or comment, that'd be awesome. And I'll be here with a new video really soon. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Yeah, bye.